think we should leave this in.
I don't. Oh, there's fuzz in my coffee.
Hi, we are Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab's media team. I'm Tom. This is Galen. He has his mouth full of coffee. Welcome to our YouTube series in which we will explore some of Black Phoenix's fragrances that we have been selling. Sometimes they're a mystery to us until we're actually selling them, as was the case at Midsummer Scream recently, which was a big Halloween festival in Long Beach, California. What was your favorite part of Midsummer Scream?
Like all of it.
Like all of it. It was really
2
great.
days of Halloween at the end of July, so
I bought this hat.
it just gives you a lot of ideas.
It does give you a lot of ideas. And
Not like for Halloween costumes, just a lot of ideas.
oh, just like life
I
inspiration.
have a lot of ideas.
We were at the booth for most of the weekend, selling among all of our normal things. We had 4 con exclusives. They were all pumpkin themed, and this was like a huge luxury in terms of conventions because these are products where the name just says what it is, so I didn't have to remember what is in anything.
However, all of the labels are the same, and the font is a little small. So everyone would just be like, "Can I have one of the exclusives?" And I'm like, "Yeah, which one do you want?" And they're like,
You're like, there are 4 different ones. They're like, no.
I'm like, "No, oh, it's
No,
the
there
font.
are.
It's the font."
We kind of blew it a little bit on the font. It's real small and hard to read. In the perfume oils, we have 4 variations on pumpkin. We have a pumpkin rice pudding, pumpkin OAKMOSS. I'm just like making them up. I've decided to stop reading because it doesn't matter because they wouldn't be able to read it. Pumpkin CHYPRE, which was like the proposed pronunciation when we asked on Twitter how to pronounce that word. It's French, apparently. You have to say it like that. And then by far the one I think people were most curious about is pumpkin DOOB.
A lot of people came to the booth and were like, "What is pumpkin doob?" And I'm like, "You know, like doob." And they were
Do
like,
you know how sad
"Oh,
it is?
oh."
Tragic to
And then
have
they
to
smell it.
explain to this new generation of people what a DOOB is. I don't think that Beth anticipated that. What's a DOOB?
What is a doob?
What is a
You know,
DOOB?
like a doob.
So right now I have the pumpkin OAKMOSS. You want to smell it?
I do.
This was, I guess I shouldn't have started with this one, but because this was my favorite, I think, of the weekend of all the 4, in terms of the one
We're
that
done.
I'd be most likely to wear. I love the pumpkin scents in general. The pumpkin spice absinthe that we did last year as a limited and an exclusive was like one of my favorites. But something about the OAKMOSS here is just super terrific, and actually just like contends with the pumpkin in a nice way. Do you have anything to say about?
I think that the OAKMOSS is probably my favorite. Admittedly, I don't like pumpkin scent very much.
Oh, it must be hideous to you right now.
No, you're not. It's just like, you know, in terms of my own perfume preference, I'm like, I just don't. Pumpkin is a little too much for me.
It's like a pumpkin spice note.
Yeah.
And just like what we're doing for Halloween, where we have had the pumpkin spice everything, I think for 2 years in a row. Plain pumpkin smell is probably not what most people, like pumpkin is a kind of like a swampy,
Squashy.
like biological smell on its own.
Yeah.
This was surprisingly popular at the convention. This is our pumpkin rice pudding. Now, I know a lot of people, when they're thinking of stuff they would like to smell like, rice pudding is not very high on the list. Like, oh my god, like you smell so great, is that rice pudding? So there's something like a browned, not burned, but browned, like in the oven smell in this. And somehow it's like, it is like a kind of a chewy, glutinous smell. Like, I don't know how we do that. It's the sweetest of the 4 that we have too. And for a lot of people that was instant no-go, but like, I wore this one more because there was just something really comforting about that, like nice, warm, like chewy, baked smell. I think that if I smelled this on somebody, I would probably like bite through their whole neck. I asked on Twitter the morning of we were doing this, like, how would you pronounce this? CHYPRE? Because at the booth, we realized that like nobody had the same idea of how to pronounce it, and I predicted that of all the Twitter responses that mostly people, that none of them would match, which was completely accurate. Everyone had a different take on it, and most people went a step further to say that they would just never attempt to say it out loud, even if they thought they were right about the spelling, which I think says a lot. But ultimately, the few responses that seemed the most credible pointed out that the word would be French in origin, and it would be like a CHYPRE. I didn't take French in high school.
Me either.
I believe that the note in question is like a sandalwood note, and we sold quite a lot of these also.
We did.
People who didn't realize that these were all different.
Okay, hold on.
Would still gravitate towards that one.
This one smells less pumpkin-y to me than the others.
You want to try it on? You want to do a skin test? Can I smell?
Yeah. It's less pumpkin-y
Well,
than the others.
it's certainly.
It's still pumpkin-y.
Yeah, it's there. I can smell it from here. It's really lovely.
Oh,
But I mean, I'm suffused in like I have pumpkin rice pudding all over my body right now. So we're like from different worlds at the moment. And last of these four, but certainly not least, we have the pumpkin DOOB. If you are watching from home and you're unclear about what a DOOB is, ask an old person.
We're not going to tell you.
No.
Or like Google it because you're watching this on the internet and the internet.
We're busy doing a video right now.
Educate yourself.
My suspicion is that that Beth, our perfumer, had a DOOB on the brain because we did, for 420 this year, we did a special cannabis scent that was blacklight reactive poster. And we have a few others, and it kind of was a nice reminder that we have scents that smell like weed, which you should not consume or vape.
No, it's just a scent.
It's just a scent.
So if you would like to smell like someone who has smoked weed...
Haven't we come full circle as a culture? Because at one time you would have like had a perfume or air freshener to cover up the smell of weed, and now we're out there like, no, actually, like, you want to smell like it.
Want that cannabis now.
You want it. To be honest, this one has been like teasing me a little bit because I smell the pumpkin. I'm not getting a strong cannabis. There is like it's earthy and green underneath. But probably because I've never smelled these two scents together before, I'm not getting a strong cannabis, which is actually great because would be...
I can kind of get...
It would be like a great like down low scent. Like unlike Hippie Ghost or Blacklight Reactive Poster, which smells like a head shop.
Ask the nearest hippie.
In the great way. Yeah. But I wouldn't wear it to court or in anywhere where there might be like drug sniffing dogs because we don't really know what could happen. Also, probably, I don't know, like, I'm paranoid about the TSA.
I love the idea of someone going to court and they're like, what fragrance do I put on to seem like, you know,
a
really
normal,
respectable?
totally normal person.
And I think I will put on pumpkin DOOB.
Pumpkin DOOB. She wore pumpkin DOOB to court.
The jurors could smell her.
The great thing is, if you get searched, no one will be able to read the label. We also had a couple of Black Phoenix Trading Post exclusives that we brought along to the Midsummer Scream. Amber pumpkin hair gloss and a patchouli pumpkin hair gloss. There are two kinds of people in the world. There are amber pumpkin people and patchouli pumpkin people. The people who like neither are not people. Cut them out of your life. Alphabetical. Amber pumpkin to begin with. Get in there.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nice. You can't just say that's nice. Like, oh, I couldn't be there. What did it smell like? It was nice.
It's nice and sweet the way that, you know, amber is. What does amber smell like? It's kind of like a...
It's nice.
It's like a tough, sweet smell. I know that's like weird to...
The amber is a sweet smell that kind of like holds its own against the pumpkin. So there's more of like a interesting, like a dance between the notes. So I know which kind of person I was this weekend because I put on the pumpkin patchouli gloss more than once. Not that I could smell a damn thing because I was surrounded by perfumes on all sides and probably had like 11 different things on my arms.
Whoa.
Yeah. You got that, like, it's a nice, like, dry, scratchy...
Oh! Earthy, yeah.
I love this. I could, like, take a deep inhale, like, all the way, like if I was doing one of those lung capacity tests. This wouldn't impede me in the slightest. But yes, earthy, like you are dragging that pumpkin home out of the field by yourself with your bare hands, no gloves.
No.
You know, and then, like, rubbing it all over your hair and body.
Wait, as it's like a whole pumpkin?
Yeah.
You're just like rubbing a whole pumpkin
A whole
on you?
pumpkin from just like...
I'll rub it on my hair.
Yeah. It's just that, like, right level of, like, patchouli dankness where you're just like, yeah, like, I want to know more. And then you get in there, and the pumpkin, I think, is really nice in that sense. It's like other sense that we have with, like, a patchouli balanced by something sweet, which I think blends harmoniously in a way that entices people to get closer. Instead of, like, maybe, like, if you're one of those really dry, scratchy patchouli people, there's, like, a point where you hit a wall with it where you're like, you detect what's there and you're like, yep, okay, good. It's like a barbed wire fence where you're like, I don't want to get any closer.
The patchouli barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is
The great patchouli barrier.
The great patchouli barrier reef. I'll go ahead and put some in my hair right now. In case you're just thinking that, like, you know, I'm afraid to actually test this stuff out. Oh, you move the coffee. Move the coffee away. I'm putting this on my naturally messy morning bedtime hair that I actually woke up with. We're recording these videos on Sunday mornings because this is the only time when there's no construction noises. And it's early enough to where we don't run the air conditioner and you won't pick up the noise in the background.
This is the quietest our apartment
ever is. But also, like, maybe the sweatiest.
It's really hot.
And I'm in here putting, like,
oil
on myself, which, and then smelling my hands.
So since I am not a pumpkin fan, the other new fragrance that we also had this weekend was Fuck This Heat, which
timely
benefits our air conditioner.
Yeah.
At the lab.
Which is even extra more timely because I just found out that we're going to be canceling our August open house at the lab, which was set for the 11th, and I just posted about it last week all over social media, and we have to cancel it because the air conditioning isn't going to be fixed in time. And we would just have to be stone crazy to do an event like this and invite everyone over on, like, a Saturday afternoon in August with no air conditioning. Like, A, we'd be crazy to do it, and anyone who shows up anyway is definitely crazy. So the safest thing for all is to just
wait.
Cancel it. We'll just wait till September. In the meantime, if you buy Fuck This Heat,
it's right here,
which is a beautiful, like, slivers of ice and hops
and lavender.
And
it's
lavender.
Like a cool lavender hops smell.
Yeah. Anything else on about pumpkins or Midsummer Scream before we sign off for the weekend?
It smells like a pumpkin field.
I think
it smells like hair got in my nose.
I can see your eyes tearing up. We usually do more pumpkin-themed scents in our Halloween collection, which will be coming out in September. So those of you who were not able to make it to Midsummer Scream or can't go out and take one of these from someone who bought one, you can have that to look forward to. You know, I ran out of things to say.
I know. It's hot.
It's hot. So, Fuck This Heat. We're gonna go. Anyway, thank you for checking out our video. Please subscribe to our channel because we're just getting started out doing videos for the lab to talk about our scent and stuff that we have going on behind the scenes at the lab. It's so hard to see all of our various social media posts and everything, so if there's something important, we'll probably try to, like, make sure there's something here in our weekly videos. Just saying the words weekly video feels like so much pressure. Pumpkins, check them out.
You can't. They're
no, you
not
can't. All right.
Line.
All right, this is all the time that we have today before we, like, melt in our stifling apartment. So
we gotta open a window soon.
We gotta open a window.
And with that comes noise.
Thank you for tuning in, and we will post another video soon. I
am Tom Blunt. He is Galen Adair. Or am I Galen Adair? Is he Tom Blunt?
we have a hard time keeping track of this ourselves.
It's so hot in here.
Stay cool, friends.
Fuck this heat.